There are major changes happening to Social Security right now. More than 70 million Americans rely on Social Security payments every single month. More than 60% of those people require that money just to survive, to pay for the basic necessities. Now, today we're going to discuss what Congress is talking about, what the federal government has already done, the changes that are coming, and a big one, how long people in certain states have to drive just to get to a Social Security office. And just so you know, the majority of Americans are needing to drive about 50 miles. 50 miles just to get to a Social Security office. That is ridiculous. But we'll break that down in just a moment, explain more on what is coming and how this will impact millions and millions of Social Security recipients. So first, before I get into this update, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So let's get to the big news. Social Security is going to become insolvent within the next 8 to 9 years. But look at this. It says there's nothing beautiful about a 21% cut to Social Security. What is happening right now is Democrats are saying we have to provide more benefits to Social Security recipients at this time because they're struggling. They're hurting. Food prices have gone up. Housing is unaffordable. Medications, again, everything is going up in price. But what Republicans are saying is that if we continue to provide more benefits today, there's going to be a deadline, a cliff. That is when Social Security becomes insolvent, because that's when millions of recipients will see a 21% cut instantly. They say there's nothing beautiful about 21% cuts. Okay. So that is where we're at. Lawmakers are trying to find a balance between if we provide more benefits today, it's going to hurt people in the next 8 to 9 years. Here's the issue. Lawmakers are now looking at ways to reduce the amount of expenditures, to stop sending out as much money without making cuts. Look at this. It says President Donald Trump's policy is set to impact the Social Security checks of roughly 2 million beneficiaries. Well, who is going to see this impact? Who's going to see this cut? Well, it has to do with student loans. It says Social Security checks may be smaller starting in June for some as student loan garnishments begin. Yeah. It says some recipients can expect their monthly Social Security check on June 3rd, but some of those could see a loan garnishment in their check. That is a problem. When millions and millions of Social Security recipients are already falling behind, now we're going to see loan garnishments. But again, this is something we knew was coming. And this is the tough part. Over the past 4 years during the Biden administration, a lot of people were saying that our student loans, they're going to be forgiven. We will be perfectly fine. Don't need to pay those. I'm not going to make a single payment because those will be forgiven. And then President Biden had this kind of decline where he was struggling physically, mentally, couldn't do the job that he was elected to do, and other people were taking that responsibility on. We saw this. Well, it wasn't long before we knew President Biden, or former President Joe Biden, wasn't going to be in office. And it was very clear that Republicans were going to win. President Trump was going to win the election, which he did. Republicans were going to win back seats in the House and the Senate, which they did. And now Republicans took control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And so we knew a change was coming. There was not going to be student loan forgiveness. And so now millions of people are on the hook. And now the federal government is coming back saying we want our money. But look at this. Here's another thing. Because again, I'm telling you, Social Security is one of those Question marks. Is it still going to be around the next 10 years? I believe it will be, but are we going to see 100% benefits? Maybe not. But right now, the federal government and the Trump administration are looking at different ways to save money. One way to save money is to pretty much claw back the money from student loans. Now, is that really going into Social Security? No. But that's how they're going to try to claw that money back, through Social Security recipients. It's also going to be clawed back through other programs as well. We'll get to that in a different video. But here's the other thing. They're trying to make changes to lower the expenses. Here's one of those changes. The federal government is just going to phase out paper checks. So by September 30th, that will be the last day there's a check. Okay? That means you have to have some type of card, a bank account, debit card, whatever it may be. You have to have a way to get your funds without receiving a paper check. There's check washing scams. Those are going up. We're seeing those quite a bit. People are not getting their payments. Some people aren't cashing their checks. Again, whether it's on them or not, we don't know. But it's happening. So that's one way they're going to save money. Here's the other way. They're going to close down offices. Close down Social Security offices. Look at this. This is an article from CNBC. This is just from today. It says, see where seniors face the longest travel times to get to their local Social Security offices. It says a new policy is expected to prompt nearly 2 million more individuals to visit local Social Security offices every year. They have to do that in order to show that they are who they are, right? To present themselves, identify themselves. Now I want to show you this, okay, because more people are having to travel over 1 hour just to get to a Social Security office. But I want to show you this. Look at this right here. It says, in-person appointments may be burdensome for beneficiaries who face long travel times to get to their nearest Social Security office. In 31 states, more than 25% of seniors face travel times of more than an hour to get to their local field office. It says, this is the share of individuals age 65 and older who must drive an hour or more to reach a field office. You see right here in Alaska, 39.6% of seniors age 65 and older must drive at least 1 hour to get to their local office. Okay? Here in Maine, 46.3%, Vermont, 64.4% of individuals age 65 years of age or older have to drive at least an hour. Okay? Arkansas, 49, 45.8 in Mississippi, in Nebraska 41.1, Washington State 23.2, Oregon 31.1, California 8.1. They got a lot of offices. I think California is the best, I believe. Okay, actually New Jersey 5.2% of seniors. Okay, Massachusetts 6.6%, Rhode Island 8.9, 5.9 in Connecticut. Florida, 18.2. Texas, 23.8. So you can see that. Now, why am I showing you this? Because one of the concerns that many people have is more offices will be closed down. And this is a valid concern because we've already been told more offices will be closed down. But when? When are we going to get this information? Well, here's what we know. The Social Security Administration is now going to start using artificial intelligence for phone calls. This is going to speed up the phone calls. This is also likely going to increase the amount of appointments people can get. Because, again, I'm showing you this, okay, and I want to read this to you. Okay, look at this right here. It says, the analysis is a conservative estimate to help assess how much time it may cost individuals who are affected by the policy. For example, it doesn't take into account the time spent getting an appointment to visit a Social Security office, which means a phone call, and the time spent waiting for the appointment at the office. So the 1 hour, again, the majority of people are having to travel 50 miles or more. But what's interesting about this is that this doesn't account for the time on the phone. So what the Social Security Administration is doing is they're going to start to use AI. This is going to really impact Social Security. This is going to speed things along. On the phone side, it's going to allow people to make appointments quicker. But as they make appointments quicker, you may drive to a Social Security office. And again, they're going to put you in those time slots. We have a staffing shortage at the Social Security Administration. So we don't have as many Social Security agents working. That creates an issue because now AI is going to start plugging in these appointments. And let's say they expect an appointment lasts 15 minutes. You're going to have things kind of like the doctor's office where now you're double booked. Some people might not show up. You're going to double book. You're going to be behind 20, 30, 40, 60 minutes. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where, it's time to go home. Oh, I got a line of 4 people I didn't see today. Well, sorry, you're going to have to come back tomorrow. Yeah, that's part of the issue. But again, the AI software, the technology that we're going to turn to, that's going to help speed certain things along, but it's going to create other issues likely in the Social Security office. So just want to share that with you because I know a lot of people are asking, is this going to be a good thing? It could be. It could also be a bad thing temporarily. Again, there's going to be a learning curve here. We're going to see what happens, but I can tell you right now, there are already people inside of the Social Security Administration that are speculating that there's going to be problems likely within the first 3 to 6 months of this coming out. So just be aware of that. But again, major changes are happening. The federal government's trying to limit or really lower the expenses for the Social Security Administration so that hopefully they can use more of that money to pay for recipients, to help get them on board, get them into the program so that they can start getting money every single month. So we'll see what happens, but that's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.